It's Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher, and today I'm going to start us off with a passage from the Essene Gospel of Peace. And here it goes. And when you eat, never eat unto fullness. Flee the temptations of Satan, and listen to the voice of God's angels. For Satan and his power tempt you always to eat more and more. But live by the Spirit and resist the desires of the body, and your fasting is always pleasing in the eyes of the angels of God. So give heed to how much you have eaten when your body is sated, and always eat less by a third. And this passage, there was a few years ago, I was reading a book by Chuck Norris, the famous martial arts and action movie legend. And one thing he said in that book was that he always ate to being 80% full. Never to the point of being full. And growing up in America, I've noticed that the culture I grew up in is bombarded with the message for more. More is better. More, more, more. More of everything is better. And this lifestyle of overconsumption, not just of food, but just getting more stuff, doing more things, even working more, just burning the candle at both ends so that you can buy more and have more and show other people that you have more. There's this cultural value that is placed on that one word, more. But is more better? Is more optimal? And as I found growing older, that I found that more at times depreciates the quality of my life. When I feel I've amassed too much stuff and my space is cluttered, I start to feel claustrophobic and my energy starts to dwindle. And when I've been in situations where I was hungry and I was eating some food that I found delicious, and I saw something that just really got my eyes, and I wanted to keep eating, and then I ate to the point where I was full, I always would feel sick, and my energy again would be shot for the rest of the day. I even have a personal story. When I was younger, when I was about 12 years old, I used to spend the summers with my grandmother, and person who I absolutely loved, probably my favorite adult as a kid, hands down. And my grandmother was a kind woman, but she would always, she was so sweet and kind. I knew how to push her buttons and get her to give in to me for petty, childlike drives. And I watched a lot of fucking TV when I was a kid. And on TV, when you watch cartoons, what do you see? You get toy commercials, you get fast food commercials, you get candy bar commercials and sugary cereal commercials. And when I was with my grandmother, I refused to eat anything other than fast food, candy, and sugar. And I had a weight problem by the end of the summers. And I went into some pretty deep depressions. At that time, I felt horrible about myself. My energy was in the pits, and it took a lot of work for me to move past that. But I remember that visceral experience. I remember what it was like to be in that body at that time, and it messed me up. And some of the damage messed me up for years after, from simply indulging in the calling for more, and being a kid who had no discernment, who watched a lot of television and believed that my life would be happier and better and optimal just by consuming the junk that was advertised to me. So, again, on the path of the spiritual light worker, we're called to be a light for the world. We're called to be at our optimal health. And we're called, again, to discern what is the right path, what is the right life and work for our purpose, our greater purpose, and what is falsehood. And being able to discern from the falsehoods that the structures that our cultures live in that give us information, as opposed to what is true, what is truly best for us. And again, I'm reading this because I've found it to be true. The truth resonated in this passage of the Essene Gospel of Peace. Bands. I was a big fan of heavy metal bands, and again, this was like another, kind of a paradox here, because heavy metal bands embraced excess in the 1980s, and at the time I thought they were the coolest thing in the world, but now you can see the karma for excess. But on another note on that, a lot of these bands, they did their best work early in their careers. That's because they were hungry. There's a Twisted Sister album, Stay Hungry, great album. And there's truth to that, because when you're on your way up, when you have a purpose and you're using all your resources in alignment with that purpose, and you're not at a point in your life where you can simply get everything you want, then you do great work. There's a great connection, there's a flow state, there's a transcending sense of being alive when you're in that place. And you hear all these stories of people, when they make it, they've achieved a purpose, and they have all the resources in the world, they can get anything they want. And you hear all these stories of people who are not happy when they're there. They've lost purpose, or they've fulfilled a purpose and they haven't found another purpose of significance, so they simply indulge. And again, you can hear many stories of the celebrities, our false idols of this world, and hear the karma of overindulgence. And you can look at their work. You're never going to see somebody who puts out great work, great quality work. You'll see people who are, they're probably consistently decent at what they do because they're talented and they have the skills, but their work's not that great, and they are probably not making their best contributions to their lives and to the world at that time. Yet they can buy and do anything they want. Doesn't make them happy. So, stay hungry, my friends. Resist the demonic desire for overconsumption, the demonic desire for more. Know what's right. Know what's enough. What do you need to be satiated? What do you need to have your ideal satiation and energy and sense of vitality for what you got to do? And know that, and then set that boundary. And know the consequences of going over that boundary. That's all I got today. I'll see you on the other side. Class dismissed.